never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Fine.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Happy Monday to everybody out there. And yesterday was not only Sunday and not only Easter Sunday, but it was also the end of the regular season for the National Basketball Association. So today I want to talk some NBA. Any thoughts on it? Please feel free to let me know. The top 10 seeds in the Eastern Conference are as follows. The Milwaukee Bucks have the best record in the Eastern Conference and the best record this year in the NBA with a final record of 58 wins and 24 losses. The Boston Celtics finished 57 and 25, followed in third place by the Philadelphia 76ers, who finished the regular season at 54 and 28. Then we have the Cavaliers at 51 and 31. The Knicks at 47 and 35. The Nets at 45 and 37. And then we have the Heat with 44 wins and 38 losses. And the 8 and 9 seeds both have the same identical 500 records at 41 and 41. That is the Atlanta Hawks and the Toronto Raptors. And the 10 seed in the Eastern Conference is the Chicago Bulls with 40 wins and 42 losses. I know that a couple of weeks ago I saw on social media where somebody was talking about the Atlanta Hawks, and it had their record for the last 26 games they had played up to that point. And I believe that was right around 12 or 14 games left to go in the regular season. And at the time, in the Hawks' last 26 games, they were 13 and 13. But not only were they 13 and 13, it broke it down. In their last 2 games, they were 1 and 1. In their last 4 games, they were 2 and 2. In their last 6 games, they were 3 and 3. In their last 8 games, they were 4 and 4. In their last 10 games, they were 5 and 5. And it went that way all the way through 26 games. So they lose 1, win 1. Win 1, lose 1. Win 2, lose 2. And that's basically what they had done for pretty much the last 2 months of the season. And that was, like I said, with about 10 or 12 games to go in the regular season. That is the epitome of a mediocre basketball team. And now let's talk about the Western Conference. The top 10 seeds in the Western Conference are as follows. The Denver Nuggets win the Western Conference. in the regular season with a record of 53 wins and 29 losses. So no NBA team wins 60 games this year. It seems like every year at least one or two teams win 60 games, but not this year. The number 2 seed in the Western Conference, the Grizzlies, at 51 and 31. The Kings finished third, a really good season for the Kings. 48 wins, 34 losses. The Suns, 45 and 37. The Clippers, 44 and 38. The Warriors, 44 and 38. And then we had the Lakers as the 7 seed with 43 wins and 39 losses. And just like in the Eastern Conference, the 8 and 9 seeds in the Western Conference have the same identical record. It's the Minnesota Timberwolves and the New Orleans Pelicans, and they both finish with a regular season record of 42 wins and 40 losses. And they actually played yesterday in the final game of the regular season, and the winner of that game got the 8 seed, and it was the Timberwolves. So even though both teams finished with the same record, Minnesota wins the regular season tiebreaker, so they get the 8 seed. And the 10 seed in the Western Conference is the Oklahoma City Thunder with the record of 40 and 42. And the reason why I did the top 10 seeds in each conference instead of the top 8 seeds is because now we have the play-in game. So the only 6 teams in each conference that are for sure locked in is the Bucks down through the Nets in the Eastern Conference and the Nuggets down through the Warriors in the Western Conference. And the 7 through 10 seeds have play-in games to determine the final 2 playoff teams. So even if you are the Bulls in the Eastern Conference or the Thunder in the Western Conference, if you win your play-in game, you're in the playoffs. And even if you're the Heat in the Eastern Conference or the Lakers in the Western Conference, if you lose your play-in game, you are out of the playoffs. And the 4 play-in games are as follows. Tomorrow night at 7:30, we have the Atlanta Hawks and the Miami Heat. And then at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, on the Western Conference side, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Lakers. And then coming up on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock, we have the Chicago Bulls and the Toronto Raptors. And over on the Western Conference side at 9:30 Wednesday night, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder and we have the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, the best thing the Pelicans can do is go ahead and cut bait with Zion Williamson. I'm tired of hearing about how good Zion is. I'm tired of hearing about how good they'll be if they can have Brandon Ingram and C.J. McCollum and Zion Williamson, all 3 on the court together. It's not going to happen. I've always heard my whole life that the best ability is availability. And Zion Williamson is never available. I don't care if you score 97 points a game and you have 95 rebounds and 45 assists and 12 block shots. If you play 10 games a year, you're useless. You cannot depend on somebody who plays 2 games and misses 20. You just can't do it. He cannot help your team at all on the bench. The best thing they can do is go ahead and let him go and trade him while you can and get something for him before his contract runs out and he's going to get offered more money by somebody else because he's doing you no good on the bench. And they've already said he's not going to play in the play-in game on Wednesday, but if they win the play-in game, he might be available in the playoffs. It won't matter if he plays first round and they win it, he'll be out again with some kind of injury by the second round. Zion Williamson is a true real-life story of the old Operation game. You can put him on a screen and point. Every part of his body, something is hurt. He's got parts of his body that are hurt I didn't know existed. He's useless. He's wasteful. I don't care how good you are on the bench. You are no good whatsoever. The best thing they can do is go ahead and let him go and quit feeding themselves on how good they're going to be when he plays, because he's not going to play. If you've been in the league this long and you're hurt all the time, you're going to continue to be hurt. I'm sorry. That's just the truth. He's useless. Any thoughts on the NBA playoffs? Please feel free to let me know. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Why did the Easter Bunny go to the doctor? He had a bad hair day. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.